got this completed makeup look right here. Just keep on watching.
Okay, and like always, I'm going in with my P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 02, and I'm just spreading that all over my eyelid, taking a flathead brush, blending it out, and then going in with my Beauty Blender and tapping it out even further. I'm going to start by taking my Juvia's Place palette, taking that orange in the top with my M506 brush, and I'm just going to be kind of placing it in that inner corner like so. I'm not really blending it out. I'm more just laying the color down and mapping out where I want it to be at. And then I'll go in with my James Charles palette. I'm going to be taking that dark purple at the bottom and doing the same thing. I'm going to lightly blend it into that orange first and then start blending it out and curving it just so I can start mapping where I want those colors to lay at. I do go back in a second time with the same color just to darken it up, but I'm not really blending anything out just yet. I'm just laying those colors where I want them to be. Then I take my James Charles palette again, mixing that light and that dark blue in together, and I'll be doing the same thing, lightly blending it into that purple and then dragging it down until it reaches the corner of my eye. And with this one, I don't really have to go back over it just because it's really dark, so I just lightly start blending it in and lightly dragging it down and blending it out as I go. And then I dip back into my James Charles palette, take a kind of lighter, more tangerine orange, and I just lightly start pecking that over and blending out that first orange I laid. Now with this look, it's really complicated because you have to pack on so many colors in a small space, and blending is key. Just make sure to blend, 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 and blend. And then I go in with my Jaclyn Hill palette. I take that light purple in her palette, and then I just kind of do the same thing. Lightly blend it into that dark purple at first, and then lightly blend it up. Don't blend it all the way up because you don't want to take over all the space on your lid with that color. You kind of just want to blend out the darker color with it and kind of smoke it out a little bit, giving it a softer edge. And I'm dipping back into my James Charles palette, just taking that light blue shade that I used and doing the same thing. So lightly just blending it into that dark blue and then just lightly blending out the edge, not taking it all the way out or up, just kind of softening that edge up a bit so that way the colors I add on next are easier to blend into. And just lightly blending it into that light purple as well. And I'm going back in my Jaclyn Hill palette. Now I have a big fluffy brush, and with this part you just want to blend out that edge. So I'm taking that yellow and I'm really blending out that orange that I had just placed down, blending it in and blending it out to give it kind of a more blown out smoky look, if that makes any sense. Well, it does to me. But anyways, just kind of keep on repeating that process and make sure to take your time with the blending here and just really blend it out. And for this step, I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm going in with the really light baby pink with a big fluffy brush and blending out that lavender purple I just laid with that pink. And just keep blending it up and blending it up. I do dip back into that pink again and just repeat the process. Making sure to blend it in with the yellow that I had blended out on the top of the orange part as well. And going back in with a kind of light aqua blue, I guess you can say, and repeating the same step. So just lightly blending it in with that light blue and blending it up, making sure to blend it in with the purple as well. And I laid the aqua first just to blend it out, and then I put the green on top. It made it way easier to blend that way. And then I just went in with some of the orange again from the Juvia's Place palette, the first dark orange, and I just packed a little bit more and darkened that color that I first laid, and then lightly blended it out, bringing back some of that color that may have been blended away in the process. And then repeating the same thing with the purple, taking some of that dark purple, just lightly packing it back on and blending it up, because sometimes the color does get blended away in the process. So just lightly blending it in and blending it up like so. And now just going back in with those two dark blues I used and repeating the same thing. Just lightly bringing back some of that color, blending it in and blending it out lightly just to darken it back up and bring it back in. And now for this step, I'm just going in with that light green and just blending it over the top of that blue I laid. I did this because it was way easier to blend that green in. Once I laid that aqua blue down, it just blended way smoother than just trying to blend the green on top, and it looked more light and fluffy and effortlessly. So yeah, just doing that right here. And now for this part, I just went in with some makeup remover and a Q-tip, and I just lightly cleaned up the excess fallout. With this look, you really have to trust the process because it looks so crazy right now. But once I cut the crease, and everything kind of falls together. And now I'm just going in with a Q-tip and some makeup remover and just begin cutting my crease like so. So just going over it with one side and then using a clean side to wipe off that excess makeup remover and some of that excess makeup that comes off, and just really cleaning that base. And just keep repeating the process until I got the shape that I wanted it to be. And now with this part, I'm just going back in with my P. Louise base and getting a flat head brush, and now I'm just going to be cutting that crease and carving it out with some of that base that I had just used. So just lightly following around the edge and filling it in as I go, and then blending it out when I was done. And now I went in with my James Charles palette, mixing that light brown and that white color in the palette, and then I just packed it onto my base just to set my base and make sure that it doesn't crease. And now for this part, all I'm doing is taking that darker blues that I had used and then just blending it in to the corner like so. That way giving it a nice gradient ombre effect. And then I went in with that light pinkish purple and repeated the same step, just lightly blended it into that blue and lightly blended it out. Doing the same thing with that orange, just lightly put a little bit on the brush and lightly blended it into that purple and blending it out, giving it a nice gradient effect. And now for this part, all I did was get a little bit of eyelash glue, spread it lightly on my eyelid, and I'm going in with the fine glitter and kind of laying a base first and lightly packing that all on my base like that before I lay the chunky glitter. And then once I got that base of that fine glitter laid, I went in with some more eyelash glue, spread it real thinly, lightly on my eyelid. Then I grabbed some chunky glitter on another flat head brush and just lightly packed it on like so. And so what I did for this, I just lightly packed it on and then spread it out like so. That way it would lay nice and the way I wanted it. And this was pretty much the final step of the makeup look. I completed my face makeup and everything else off camera. Thank you for watching. Alright you guys, and this is the completed makeup look right here. I'm honestly so obsessed with it. I love the way it came out. I know if you guys hear stuff in the background, those are my 2 daughters. They would not lay down for their nap, and I had no other choice but to film with them in my room. So if you hear noises or anything like that, that's them. But anyways, yes, I have recreated this look already. If you guys follow me on my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever, you guys know I already have done this look before. I got a lot of requests to do a tutorial on it, and so that's that's why I filmed it today. And yeah, I really love how it came out. It was so much easier to actually do it this time, because the first time it took me a long time to do it. It was so hard for me, but now that I already kind of did it before, it was easy and it was real smooth filming the tutorial. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on my video, and make sure to go follow my Instagram at makeup_Rena. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today as much as I did, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!